Hello, so you've probably seen from the thumbnail and the title of this video what it's all about, but I thought I'd just tell you what happened and kind of see where I go from here. Now, it was probably this time last Monday, and I was just pottering around the house, as I do, and I noticed the loo roll in the bathroom needed changing. So I bent down, picked a new one up, and put it on the holder. And something felt strange, but I didn't really know what. And then I took the dog for a walk, and my back was hurting. And I just sort of carried on because it doesn't, you know, it happens. I get little twinges. But then I got home and I sat and I did a bit of work, and I could find myself getting increasingly uncomfortable, a bit like now. I just couldn't get comfortable. My back was really hurting, and I had a tingling in my legs and a tingling in my groin, and not in a fun way. And yeah, I just had to stop working, and I went downstairs and I thought I'll just sit on the sofa and just take 10 minutes or so and see how I feel. And it just seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, I basically just stood up, and this pain just hit me like an explosion. Like, it went from my head to my toes, and I basically sort of collapsed. And yeah, I knew something was quite wrong. So I sort of was laying on the sofa and managed to get Siri to call Vicky, and I just asked her to come home from work because something definitely wasn't right. And yeah, she came home from work, and I was in a bit of a state, and so she said, right, we need to see what's going on here. So we rang the 111 service, and the guy went through stuff with me and asked me loads and loads of questions. And he sort of just said, based on everything you're telling me, we need to get you an ambulance urgently. And that sounded quite scary. He said, we need to get an ambulance there with the highest priority. And he said that if there hadn't been an ambulance arrive in 30 minutes, to call 999 and check where it was. So we waited, and after about 30 minutes, nothing. So Vicky rang 999 as the guy told us to do, and we were basically told that there was an hour and 20-minute delay on ambulances at the highest priority, which was mad. So I had to sort of sit for 2 hours, and it was just getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And yeah, it actually ended up being like nearly 150 minutes, so 2.5 hours. And an ambulance turned up, and these guys were great. They asked me lots of questions, and they thought I might be suffering from cordia equine syndrome, which is basically where you're having sort of similar symptoms to what I was having, but they're a lot worse. Like, you know, you lose sensation basically completely down below. And I'm so sorry. I'm in so much pain, but I wanted to get this out and recorded. So yeah, they took me to Colchester Hospital. They gave me gas and air, and the gas and air really helped with the pain. Then yeah, I just had to wait, Vicky, and we were in a corridor for about lined with beds, and we just had to wait. And we sort of moved down the corridor a bit and thought we were getting closer to being seen, but in reality we just got moved round a corner to another bit of corridor where more people were waiting. And once the ambulance guys had checked me in, they had to take away their gas and air cylinder. And so I was just kind of left without any pain relief. And then eventually I was wheeled into a bay, and oh my God, the pain just kicked in. And I was basically rolling around on the trolley, just screaming. And because I hadn't really been seen, I hadn't been offered any other pain relief, and it just kept on coming and coming and coming in massive waves of pain. And I've never felt anything like it. And eventually, after several hours, I was sort of seen by someone and checked and had all sorts done to me, and given some Oromorph and some paracetamol, I think. And at 3 a.m. ish, I was taken up to a ward and admitted. And Vicky was told that she wouldn't be allowed to visit me for 24 hours. And then when she wanted to come and see me, she'd have to book an appointment. So I was sort of slightly panicked because I had my phone on me, which I'd charged, but I didn't have anything else at all. And it was really scary. It was really fucking scary. And so I was carted up to this ward. And we got to the ward, and the porter sort of said, well, can you get onto the bed? And I was like, well, I don't think I can. I said, I've had some Oromorph. I might be able to do it. I couldn't even lift myself up off the bed. So he seemed a bit disgruntled by this and had to go and get some nurses to help. And they put me on like a backboard or something like that. And they just rolled me over, and I fucking screamed the place down. I felt so guilty because I was in a ward with all these other people, and it was sort of gone 3 a.m, and I was screaming. And they got me on this backboard and basically chucked me across onto the bed like I was a chicken Kiev on a baking sheet going onto a plate. Oh man. And then, yeah, I was kind of just left there. A nurse came and checked me over, and she gave me a swab, and she was like, swab your groin. And I was a bit confused. I thought she'd said swab your groin. And I said, sorry, what? Swab your groin. And she said it to me like it was something I should know all about. It's like a thing that everyone does, and obviously I don't do or hadn't heard about. And yeah, I had to swab my groin for her. And I had a COVID test, and yeah, she took some vitals from me, and then yeah, I was just kind of left. And I think it was probably about 4 o'clock by this time, and I was just absolutely petrified. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know how I was going to just sort of cope on my own there without any sign of Vicky, and probably wouldn't have my phone working for that whole time. So yeah, basically, cut a long story short, it took them 24 hours after that to basically get hold of the MRI that I had done in November. And it transpires that I've got 2 prolapse discs in my back, and they're basically bulging. One's bulging quite a lot, one's not as bad. And I need surgery to fix that. And yeah, I mean, since November last year, where I was urgently referred to an orthopedic surgeon, I mean, I thought things weren't great, that needed to happen, but I hadn't actually heard anything from anyone about it. I've just been popping a load of pills, and it has been okay. But obviously now I'm not okay. I was basically released a few days later because I could walk with the help of crutches, and yeah, I was sent home just in time for Vicky's birthday, which was amazing. I was so glad to be out of the hospital. But I'm just left now in a lot of pain. I went back to the doctors on Friday, and the doctor, who's a student doctor, his attitude was basically, well, lots of people have got back pain. You just got to carry on as you are. He told me that I shouldn't be on the medication that I do have, and that I should really just be taking paracetamol. And honestly, I wanted to kick his face in. He was just so blasé about my pain. You know, I thought my back hurt before, but now it is at a different level. And to be told that I've just got to sort of ride it out and wait for this referral to come through and do nothing, basically. Well, sorry, carry on as normal. Just really, really stung. But he promised me that he'd speak to some of the other doctors and he'd see about adjusting my medication. And he actually called me back that afternoon and said that I had to take some more naproxen than I was already, and that was all they could do for me. So yeah, I'm in this sort of rather shit position where I can barely walk. Sitting for any period of time is uncomfortable. Standing for any period of time is massively uncomfortable. I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself, really. I thought I'd film this and I'd be able to get through it and I'd be all slick and everything, and you know, everything would be fine, but it's not. It's really not. And I don't know what I'm going to do. So obviously, like in one of the last videos you saw of me, I was talking about how me and Vicky would be building the log cabin for her office. That's arriving this week. I can't do that. So thankfully, my stepdad is going to come over next weekend and help Vicky with it. So I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, I just don't know what I can do. I know people say, "Oh, don't feel like you got to put out videos and things like that," but like YouTube punishes you if you don't regularly pump out content. So if you've been putting out videos regularly, like I have, and then you just kind of stop, their algorithm doesn't like that. And because YouTube is a source of income for me, that's a bit scary. You know, I can do work because my work is mostly sitting down. But again, I can't do that for any long period of time because it's just agony. I need to move now, but I'm scared to. One moment, please. So yeah, I wanted to make this video because I kind of document what's going on in life on my YouTube channel, and this is seemingly quite a big part of my life now, for God knows how long. But I'm going to be proactive about it. I'm going to ring the hospital and chase up my referral. Remember, my urgent referral from November last year. And yeah, just sort of try my best to carry on. So, you know, there might not be 2 videos a week at the moment. There might only be 1 or none. Yeah, I'm sorry this video's been a bit crap, but I just thought I'd update you. I mean, lots of people who follow me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, then you probably know some of this by now, but I thought I'd give you the full story. But I'm not going to lie, I'm really scared. I'm really scared of how I am and how it feels. And it's also quite depressing that I've got to get to a point where basically, without being crude, I'm pissing and shitting myself before they'll really pay any attention and get me surgery. And that is terrifying. Because no one wants to do that anyway. You don't want that to happen to yourself. That's where we are. So yeah, I'm sorry this hasn't been a particularly fun episode. But it's how things are at the moment. But anyway, thank you so much for everyone who's sent me nice messages and been really kind. I really do appreciate it. It has made me smile. I've just got to sort of carry on regardless and push through and hope that I don't piss and shit myself. I mean, actually, in some regards, I hope I do, because I honestly want this pain to go away more than anything right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, but for now, it's game over.